Be creative. Experiment for experiences. I feel like taking you to the story of a medical researcher who went for the weirdest experiment to prove his suspicions correct. We have to justify him because situations need not be rational when creativity is involved. Barry Marshall, the hero of the story, had been a medical researcher, though not a doctor in the fullest sense. He was just a medical intern in Australia at the time of this experiment, year 1984. All his colleagues and absolute horror watched him doing a very uncommon thing. He had collected a large colony of bacteria from the gut of a patient seriously suffering from stomach ulcer. He poured the murky solution into a glass and just drank it. It contained more than a billion Helicobacter pylori bacteria and must have tasted like heaven knows how. A few days went by. Marshall fell ill with nausea and vomiting. An endoscopy followed, confirmed that he had contracted ulcer of the stomach. There was absolutely no cure those days for stomach ulcer because the entire medical world was unanimous in ascribing the disease to mental stress and consequent imbalance in digestive acids. Thorough observation had already made Marshall seriously suspect bacteria as the villain behind the disease. Unfortunately, he had no solid evidence. Anyhow, Marshall soon resorted to antibiotics and miraculously healed himself. The significance of his experiment was enormous. Stomach ulcers were caused by bacteria, they could be cured. It was one of the greatest breakthroughs, not only in medical science but in creative research as well. Millions of lives have been saved since then, and the world honored Marshall with a Nobel Prize. In fact, Marshall had taken two safety precautions. He did not inform the hospital ethics committee because they were certain to deny permission. Committees and creativity do not go together. He didn't give advance information to his wife because spouses can always be overcautious. Marshall was a 33-year-old intern, not even a proper doctor at that time. After the experiment, Marshall said, "Everyone was against me, but I knew I was right." Of course, it is not advisable for all to go for wildest experimentations in their creative pursuits. But Marshall's case holds water at the least in one point. If you want to transform things and create never before results, you have to be in a radical frame of mind. Any behavior that is not normal in the common parlance of that term is liable to be interpreted as insanity. But from the viewpoint of creativity, it might be enlightenment. The word enlightenment demands special focus as far as creativity is concerned. It means the state of being mentally or spiritually lighted up when the dark alleys of our perception are lighted up. We see things in greater clarity and we end up by creating better things out of that clarity.